There's been some surprising results in two state elections held in India, with the ruling BJP losing in the Jammu and Kashmir region. It was won by the local National Conference Party that's part of the main opposition alliance led by Congress. This has been the first poll since Prime Minister Modi's government stripped the Muslim-majority region of its semi-autonomy back in 2019. The result paves the way for Kashmir to have its own truncated government instead of being ruled by the national government in New Delhi. The BJP did, however, secure a rare third consecutive win in the northern state of Haryana, despite exit polls predicting a victory for Congress.
This is a victory of India's constitution and democracy. National Conference and their alliance won more seats. I congratulate them too. BJP has emerged as the party with the largest vote share in Jammu and Kashmir. What the people of Haryana have done is unprecedented. That has never happened before. This is the first time that a party has formed government for 3 consecutive times in Haryana.
And let's get more now from our South Asia Bureau Chief Meghna Bali in New Delhi. Meghna, firstly, was the BJP's defeat expected, given it was the Prime Minister Narendra Modi who stripped the region of its special autonomy about 5 years ago?
Yeah, Girish, look, what we know is many of the voters that the ABC spoke to did see this election as an opportunity to prevent the Modi government's tightening grip on this disputed region. As you mentioned before, before 2019, Jammu and Kashmir had enjoyed a semi-autonomous status. So that means, it had things like its own flag, its own constitution, and its own identity. And when that was stripped away from them, it was really seen as an attack on that Kashmiri identity. Now, post that decision to strip this region of its statehood and special autonomy, there was a sweeping crackdown, and thousands of additional troops were deployed into this region. There was a mass detainment of key political figures, and an 18-month cut-off of the internet, one of the longest internet blackouts in the world. And so, during this election campaign, many people, separatists even, joined this election campaign and really tried to win votes and seats based on this sentiment of restoring Kashmir's statehood. And of course, as we know, the context here is that Kashmir is one of the most militarized regions in the world. Since the 90s, it's, an armed insurgency has taken over this region. Thousands of people have died, including, militants, civilians and soldiers. It's contested by both India and Pakistan. So this is a region that has seen political tensions for the last few decades.
And given the security situation there, Meghna, what was the turnout like?
Yeah, the turnout was sat at around 64%. It's notable because historically Kashmiris have boycotted these kinds of elections, seeing them as almost legitimizing India's rule. Like I mentioned before, even separatists participated in this. And this is largely seen as a win by Mr. Modi's BJP party, seeing it as sort of, everyone is participating in the democratic process.
Yeah, a win in some way for him, but how significant is the win for the main opposition party, Congress, alongside its local ally in Jammu and Kashmir?
Yeah, of course. Look, the majority of seats have been taken by a local Kashmiri party called the National Conference. Now, they won about 42 seats. The majority mark was about 46, so Congress made up about 6 of those seats. Now, I think for Congress, this is largely seen as a victory of them getting stronger in this region. Rahul Gandhi, the leader of the Congress, saw this as a victory for democracy and for the Constitution. This is the context here is, earlier this year in the general elections, a Congress-led alliance weakened Mr. Modi's mandate. He came into power he didn't come into power with a majority for the first time, since 2014. And now you've got, a Congress alliance now in Jammu and Kashmir winning seats and taking power away from the BJP. So I think for the Congress, this is sort of, an indication that they are getting stronger in the region.
So, Meghna, what does this election change for how Kashmir is governed, given these are the first local polls in a decade?
Yeah, they are. You know, they were sort of, there was a BJP and PDP, which is another Kashmiri party alliance up until 2018, which broke down. After that, of course, we had the abrogation of Article 370, sort of that stripping of the statehood. And, you know, this is the first time that Kashmiris are going to, you know, in that time have their own political assembly. Now, they do have nominal powers because of its status as a union territory. You know, this assembly can make decisions about things like education and stuff like that, but New Delhi does have the power to override that legislation. Now, I should point out here, the Modi government has committed to restoring Jammu and Kashmir's statehood, which then, like other states of India, they're able to have their own legislation and make decisions about their own state without the interference of New Delhi. So I think time will tell whether that actually will happen.
And sticking to northern India, but in reverse, Congress was expected to win in a landslide in Haryana, but the BJP claimed a rare third consecutive term instead. What got the ruling party across the line there?
Yeah, look, the results in Haryana were very surprising. I mean, all the exit polls had the Congress party, you know, defeating the BJP. They have been, you know, the BJP has been have been able to overcome anti-incumbency, you know, winning sort of a third rare term. And, you know, the reason that they were sort of slated to lose was because of these massive farm protests that we've seen throughout the years. It was largely considered that the Jat caste of farmers was going to vote against the BJP. And I think what some early analysis is sort of projecting is that the Congress party focused all their efforts onto this farming caste and you know, sort of neglected other communities in the region, which the BJP was able to target. So I think early analysis kind of shows that the BJP still has a stronghold in those northern Indian states, despite, you know, sort of years of protests.
Outstanding reporting. Meghna Bali in New Delhi. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Girish.